This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, that is more like it for the Houston Astros, back where they're supposed to be in the win column against a bad baseball team in the Chicago White Sox as they get it done tonight by a final of 10-2. Hello and welcome to the Locked On Astros Postcast. As we are here to celebrate the victory for your Astros, number 37 of the season, as they look like the baseball team that they have looked like more often than not of late, and extending a little bit out there in the American League West again today, thanks to some teams losing. You love to see it for the Houston Astros. Welcome, like I said, to this episode. I sure do hope you guys are still hearing me because my internet just froze. Everything wouldn't move. If you didn't hear me for a second, sorry. If I did, well, there you go. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Astros Postcast is, of course, brought to you by, well, again, my computer is being just downright silly today. Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. What is it? When you walk away or when you walk to your office tomorrow, the water cooler, wherever it might be, you're going to walk into work and say, well, this is what we're going to talk about from last night's game.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Hip, hip, hooray. It's offense, right? Yes. The Bats showed up tonight. They did their thing. You love to see it for the Astros. I just noticed, somebody moved my stuff in here again. This is weird. The whole angle's off from normal. I'm sorry I'm doing this live on the show. Somebody messed with my things. The Astros bats show back up. They get big hits. They hit the ball hard. They produce thump. And as I mentioned to start the show, this is a team that they're supposed to beat in the Chicago White Sox. This is one of the worst teams in baseball. The Astros, they might not be the best or even among the best of the best. They are one of the better teams in baseball. We have that. We do know that. They have a winning record on the season. They are 37-30. And when you have a winning record, that means you're a good baseball team. The Astros are a good baseball team. Last night was one of those dumb nights where you go out there and you just can't get the runs. They had plenty of hits in last night's ball game, and tonight they had the hits and they had the runs. Of course, we would all like more of these nights piled together. Good news is they're playing this team again tomorrow. They're in a stretch, like we've talked about, up until the 22nd, where they're playing a lot of teams they should beat. And they're going to play Philadelphia and Chicago, two of the better teams in the National League. It's going to be a good test. Between now and then, you need to eat. And so far, they're eating. They're the only team in the American League West right now that has a record above 500. Look, some of it is you gotta have a little luck involved being the worst division in the league. The Astros are in the worst division in the league. And then they're also going out there and taking care of their business when they need to. 37-30, like I mentioned, 4-game lead in the American League West over the Angels of all teams, because Seattle lost again today. And Seattle is technically in third, even though they have the same record as the Angels at the moment. Wild West, man. It is wild. Here's what I like from the game tonight. The Astros hitting the ball hard. They had so many balls come off the bat, plus 100 miles an hour. I mean, it was just downright silly that they pulled that off in the large amount that they did. And as we talk about so often, when you hit the baseball hard, results will follow. Tonight, the results did follow. You need these nights for your mental psyche as well when you're coming off of a game where you feel like last night you're saying to yourself, should have gotten a lot more out of that one. And they didn't. Tonight they got all of that. 10 hits, 10 runs, 15 hits. That's back-to-back nights with, what do they have? I think 9 hits last night. So and they're pushing 24 hits through the first 2 games of this series. Multi-hit nights out of Jeremy Pena. Multi-hit night out of Isaac Paredes. Multi-hit night out of Jose Altuve. Multi-hit night out of Yainer Diaz. Multi-hit night out of Christian Walker. Multi-hit night out of Cam Smith. And I dogged Christian Walker last night, so you know what? I'm just going to keep dogging him. I don't know if you guys are believers in the superstitions of baseball. I was never play growing up and through high school and whatnot. I was never like a huge believer of certain superstitions when you were that young. I think if I got older and I went further, I probably would have. I had certain things that I always did the same. Kept my batting gloves in my back right pocket, things like that. Now, when I golf, I have superstitions, absolutely. I keep three tees in my back right pocket. My golf glove always goes in my left pocket. Nothing in my pockets other than a golf ball in my right pocket, front right pocket. That's it. There's weird superstitions. So I'll keep the superstition on Christian Walker. I dogged him last night. I talked about how terrible he's been this season. I talked about how he comes up in clutch situations constantly and does nothing. And tonight, what did he do? He produced. 3 for 4. Hit a home run. Drove in 4. Hey, had the Astros up big early on his swings alone. He did it with 2 outs as well, both times. That's something that this team is insanely good at, by the way. 2-out runs. It's weird it's just so weird how each season's so different. You know, the Astros have plenty of years they can't get a 2-out hit to save their lives. They can't produce in the clutch spots like that at all. And you get to 2025 and it's like, well, all they do is get 2-out hits. I think there's only one. I can't remember who it was. It flashed on the TV screen tonight. They're good with 2 outs. You got to go out there and you got to do these things. Again, I know that this is a bad baseball team that you're playing. They're still major league players. They're still blowing 95 up there. You can't take away anything in a major league baseball game from anybody. You have to put up the results, right? Last night they didn't. Okay? You were probably ticked off about it tonight. They did. They won. Did what they had to do. And they need tomorrow's baseball game now as well. We got to talk about that. And we also have to talk about Jose Altuve, another milestone for him tonight in his Hall of Fame career that he has going. That's next here in the Locked On Astros Postcast. You ever look at that bank account and go, well, hey, where'd all my money go? Yeah, between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control of your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you just stop managing your money and you start building wealth. Instead of, like I mentioned, juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch Money to check those finances, track all of your spending, and even plan some long-term goals. How about that? And managing your money with your partner, easier than ever now, thanks to Monarch Money. Track all of your shared accounts or your personal accounts, set your goals that you have together, and stay on the same page without the stress. Life is good when you're not stressing about the finances between each other because you're not collaborating. Collaborate with them. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Before we get back to our discussion on the Astros getting the 10-2 victory tonight over the Chicago White Sox, I want to tell you guys about SupplyHouse. Get the supplies you need. Made for the skilled trade, SupplyHouse. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, SupplyHouse is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? SupplyHouse offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Astros winners tonight over the Chicago White Sox, taking care of their business. What you got to do against a bad baseball team. 10-2 the final. Plenty of offense throughout. Ryan Gusto, best start of his major league career. Deepest for sure. 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Picks up his 4th win of the year. The bullpen behind him solid. Brian King, Stephen Okert there, and the Astros hold the White Sox down to just 2 runs on the night and strike them out 12 times across the board. Jose Altuve tonight, 2 for 4. Has swung a better bat of late overall. Has, I think, really started to get his mechanics together at the plate, and it's given him some results. He got hot, and he had a little bit of a lull there, which happens, and now it feels like he's getting hot again. Career hit number 2,300 for Jose Altuve tonight. And I think it's important because I just found myself as that happened tonight, we're watching it. And I get it. We're human beings. We do it. I think we take for granted watching it in the moment. When I was a kid growing up watching Bagwell and Biggio, you're a kid, you think you're just going to watch these guys play forever. Doesn't work that way. And Jose Altuve's the exact same. It's really hard to believe. I'll never forget watching his first game. I'll never forget when he was coming up that year. He was getting all this crazy hype for what he was doing out of the minor leagues because he was tearing it apart that year, and they brought him up from AA. Didn't even go to AAA. The guy was like hitting 400 and just doing insane stuff that season. There's this little tiny guy out there playing second base, and I'll never forget his first hit. And it still feels like it was yesterday. And here we are, it's 15 years later. It's 15 years later. Isn't that terrifying to think about? We've been watching this guy play for the Houston Astros for 15 years. How? And we've watched the greatest career any Astros ever had. I know that he still does not have the number 1 spot in all statistical categories. He's going to get there in a lot of them. And I love Jeff Bagwell and I love Craig Biggio. There is always going to be the thing that differentiates Altuve from those two. Even if he doesn't surpass Biggio in hits or Bagwell in certain categories, whatever it might be. It's the postseason track record. He's arguably the most clutch postseason player the game has ever seen. And he's second all-time in postseason home runs. Still got a chance to be the all-time leader at some point. And he's raised 2 trophies. He's been to 4 World Series total. And he's been clutch. He's the greatest Astro ever. I know there's still some people out there that make the arguments for the others, and you can absolutely put the statistics and say Jeff Bagwell without a doubt statistically is the greatest Astro ever. It's not. This guy is. And it's just cool to see the moments happen. Hopefully he's got another 700 hits in him. He got 5 years left on that contract, or this is year 1 of that 5-year contract. If he can average, he's going to average probably 175, 180 in terms of the hits a year if he stays healthy. Should get there eventually. Love to see him get to that 3,000 number. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. If they keep him off their ballot, we all know why. It's a shame and it's stupid. is what it is. But I just wanted to recognize, again, another milestone tonight because, look, we've got fewer hits left out of what we get to watch Jose Altuve have fewer hits the rest of his career than we've already seen. Just got to remind ourselves of it, when it's going on. Now, tomorrow, hopefully they, have him go out there and pop off a couple more hits, maybe some big hits. They need tomorrow's baseball game. I mean, there's no other way around it. This is a bad White Sox team. You got Fromber going out there up against Davis Martin for the White Sox in that one. It's another 7:10 pitch, by the way. First pitch tomorrow night. We'll be live with you as soon as the game wraps up right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. But it's a game that you got to get. I don't think there's any other way around it. So I think go get it. I think we'll be talking about something that's good, and it'll be a good time. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Is it Wednesday night? We'll talk again tomorrow night after Astros and White Sox. The Locked On Astros Postcast.